I recently reviewed several crossovers from China, and I recall saying that they were game changers because they were packed with so many features at compelling prices. And to drive that point home, one of the biggest automobile manufacturers has just jumped on the bandwagon. Introducing the Ford Territory. I would like to give a special thanks to Ford Marikina for making this review possible. You may contact them using the number on the screen and in the description, should you have any further inquiries about the Territory or any other Ford product. The Territory is a product of a joint venture between Ford and JMC in China. Now, if you're thinking this is another rebadged Chinese vehicle, think again, because the design, engineering, and drive assessment are all owned by Ford, so it meets their global standard. Okay, enough of that, because there's a lot to cover, starting with the exterior. First, let's talk size. The Territory is 1,936 millimeters wide, 4,480 millimeters long, and 1,674 millimeters tall. To put that in perspective, this is about the same size as a Honda CR-V. The Honda CR-V is a little longer and a little taller, but this is a bit wider. In terms of exterior features and aesthetics, you'll find LED headlights and DRLs that also function as turn signals near the fog lamps. It's also nice to see Ford go against the grain with a sleek grille, while everyone else seemed to be competing for the biggest grille award. Overall, the front of the Territory sports a simple and clean design. The only thing I find odd are these windshield washers. I thought this was a thing of the past. Anyway, moving on to the side, you still get a clean design with these straight body lines and the minimal use of black plastic cladding, thank goodness. The Territory rolls on 18-inch wheels wrapped in Goodyear 50 series tires, which are 235 millimeters wide. These wheels lean more towards elegance over sportiness or ruggedness. You also get these power-folding, heated side mirrors. The only thing that seems a bit eccentric here is how the top of the doors are rounded while the rear quarter glass is rather boxy. This part actually evokes a subcompact SUV from Range Rover. No pun intended. At the back, you get a full suite of LEDs for your tail lamps. Now, if you think these are real exhausts, well, unfortunately, they're not. Okay, so here at the back, you don't get a power tailgate, but opening it is a cinch, and it reveals 420 liters of trunk space with the rear seats up. When folded, you get 1,120 liters of trunk space. You also get this tonneau cover and a 12-volt outlet. So sitting here in the cockpit for the first time, I just have to say, wow, this is indeed a tech fest. It's ultra-modern with all these buttons and screens. For starters, you get an electronic park brake, push-button start, and power seats. There's also a plethora of buttons along the center console which controls functions such as your drive modes, lane departure, and park assist. Yes, whether you hate parallel or perpendicular parking, this has got you covered. As far as ergonomics are concerned, everything is well within reach. And it's nice to see this race center console which brings the shift lever and other controls closer to you. However, the absence of some physical controls and switches will make it feel less intuitive to some. Myself included. I mean, take the AC controls for instance. They can only be operated via the touchscreen, which I think will be quite difficult without looking at the screen, especially when driving. This 10-inch infotainment screen also houses your audio controls, which also offers Android Auto and wireless connectivity for Apple CarPlay. Here you can also view multiple angles from the 360 camera to detect obstacles and control other vehicle settings, such as your interior ambient lighting, where you can choose from 7 different colors. Pretty neat, huh? But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Let's move on to the instrument cluster, which is just as big as the infotainment screen and is fully digital. There are even 3 design themes you can choose from depending on what strikes your fancy. And if that's not enough, you also get an auto-dimming rearview mirror with a high-mount USB port, a wireless charge pad, and heated and cooled seats. Oh man, that feels so good. Anyway, this is a really pleasant place to be. And it's not just because of all the tech, because even the materials used here are top-notch. There's soft touch materials on all touch points, real stitching throughout the dashboard and sidings, and different textures and finishes to really give it an upscale and premium vibe. In terms of safety, you get airbags all around, adaptive cruise control, and forward collision warning, autonomous emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, electronic stability control, and hill launch assist. Oh, and check out this huge panoramic sunroof. This is awesome. It's huge. At the back, there's heaps of leg and headroom. There's about 6 inches of space between my knees and the front seats. These seats aren't reclinable, but you don't totally sit upright. As a matter of fact, these seats are pretty comfortable. As far as amenities go, you get rear air vents, a charge port, compo speakers, and a center armrest with 2 cup holders. Now the plastics here are a little bit harder than what you would find up front, but nonetheless, this is an extremely comfortable and pleasant place to be in. It feels just as premium as the front seats. Under the hood, you get a 1.5-liter EcoBoost engine that pumps out 141 horsepower and 225 Newton meters of torque. What's impressive about this engine is its broad power band. You see, peak power comes in at 4,500 RPM and stays there until 5,200 RPM, while peak torque is delivered early on at 1,500 RPM and stays there until 4,500 RPM, which means you can expect some decent pulling power across the rev range. This engine is mated to a CVT. Prices for the Territory starts at 1,179,000 pesos for the Trend variant and tops out at 1,299,000 pesos for the Titanium variant. And I know that's hard to believe given all the features I just mentioned. But wait, there's more, because Ford Marikina is throwing in a free 3-year service maintenance plan on top of that for a limited time only. Okay, this isn't home TV shopping, but seriously, what you have here is an affordable SUV with heaps of features, and it's from a well-known brand. What more can you ask for?